Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Pablo, and welcome back to GGsports. I'm bringing you guys another episode of the Cincinnati Bengals rebuild here in Madden 19, and it is week 2 of our second season. It is now 2020. The Bengals have started off their season in the right way. We're 1-0. Last week, we got a victory versus Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. That was a hard-fought defensive game where we pounded the rock. Joe Mixon had 159 yards on the ground with the touchdown and also a receiving touchdown to go along with that. So he has been the focal point of the offense. This Houston Texans team is 0-1, but they were 13-3 last year. This is the second year straight we've lost a Bengals free agent to the Houston Texans. This time it was Giovanni Bernard. Last season it was Tyler Eifert. Giovanni Bernard will be hurt in this game. Tyler Eifert will be playing, and they do have a rookie running back by the name of A.J. Dillon out of Boston College, and he's a pretty rare talent, so you definitely want to watch out for him, or we definitely need to keep our eyes on him. Our defensive line played very well last week against the run as well as rushing the passer, so I think our defensive line will be fine. But A.J. Green does get involved in the offense early. Last week you saw him go without a single reception, and I mentioned in that episode you'll see the Bengals and Zac Taylor try to get him the ball and more touches early in this game, and they waste no time getting him involved. And Joe Mixon is still leading the offense as he breaks off another chunk play, and we go to A.J. Green again, and he nearly broke that one off for a touchdown. Tyree Jackson is at 3 for 48 yards so far. 2 of them went to A.J. Green. Joe Mixon, though, with a nice run already up to 42 yards, is brought down at the 1-yard line before he can get into the end zone. But we do take a loss and are forced to convert on 3rd down and goal, but we can't do that. Tyler Boyd drops a touchdown pass. So I believe that's 2 weeks in a row. Last week, if I'm not mistaken, Tyler Boyd dropped a touchdown pass as well. So Tyler Boyd early this season doesn't seem like he has everything together, but Pierre Desir finally gets involved for this Bengals secondary and comes down with an interception as Deshaun Watson tried to force a pass into DeAndre Hopkins, who is a 99 overall. So we have our eyes on him. Pierre Desir does a great job staying with him and coming down with the interception. Not a great decision by Deshaun Watson, and you normally see him playing a lot better. Last year he won the Offensive Player of the Year, so I fully expect him to respond after making an early mistake in this game. But A.J. Green comes up with a 50-yard chunk play on the play action, and on the next play is Joe Mixon spinning his way toward a 36-yard touchdown and hitting a dance afterwards as the Bengals take a 9-point lead early in this game versus a competitive AFC team. So the Bengals are feeling good about themselves. They're up pretty comfortably on this team who had pretty high playoff aspirations for this season. So the Bengals are using this as a yardstick, and they're responding in every way. Joe Mixon continues to be the focal point of the Bengals game plan and continues to show why they should trust him going into year 4 to be the best running back in the league, and it looks like that's what he is going for. And like I said, the Bengals are up 9. We did get our extra point blocked, so we remain at a lead of 9 points, and Deshaun Watson is trying to respond after throwing the interception, pulls the ball down to scramble and fumbles the football after being tackled by Geno Atkins, and it's recovered by William Jackson. And if you're Deshaun Watson, you have to slide there. Not sure why he didn't, but decided to try to stay upright, fight for some extra yards. Geno Atkins strips the ball away, and the Bengals are trying to get points off of that takeaway, the second mistake made by Deshaun Watson in the first half. But unfortunately, our drive stalls, and we have to settle for a Connor Limpert field goal. And he's playing pretty well, by the way. Connor Limpert not giving us nearly as many problems as Randy Bullock did this time last year. And Deshaun Watson, after getting a huge play to Robbie Anderson, turns it over to Sean Williams as he throws his second interception of the day and gives the Bengals their third takeaway. So not a good game by Deshaun Watson. Not a great start by any means for the young QB, but he is ripping off a huge gain. Luckily for the Texans, though, the Bengals could not get any points on that takeaway. So we held our lead at 12, and now they've made it officially inside the red zone, and no points are scored there with the exception of this field goal. So we keep them out of the end zone after a few incomplete passes by Deshaun Watson. So that's a win for us. We still hold a lead of 9 points, but our offense has been pretty stagnant for the most part here in the second quarter. So that's a little bit concerning as we line up to punt again after we cannot convert on third down. And Jadeveon Clowney and J.J. Watt are now creating some real problems for the Bengals offensive line. And like I said, we had to punt, and now Deshaun Watson is trying to capitalize. And similar to last week, the Bengals are not playing great defense between the 230s. But beyond that, they're really tightening up the defense and preventing teams from getting into the end zone. But we can't stop Robbie Anderson and Deshaun Watson from connecting on that play for the touchdown. The Houston Texans score and cut our lead down to 2 after the extra point. Robbie Anderson doing a great job coming wide open after finding the soft spot in the Bengals zone defense. But that gives Tyree Jackson about 30 seconds to make something happen. He will throw an interception, and it will be taken back for 6. So the Bengals with a very bad couple of plays, but fortunately it will be called back. This time it's due to a roughing the passer call by J.J. Watt. Made a little bit of contact with Tyree Jackson after delivering the pass, but the Bengals cannot score, though, so we still remain ahead by 2 points going into half, and we get the ball to start off the second one, and Patrick Carr gets it started for the Cincinnati Bengals offense with a huge run of 40-plus yards, and Jadeveon Clowney nearly got to Patrick Carr in the backfield, but Ethan Carter, our Pro Bowl fullback, held him off for just enough time and sprung the edge for Patrick Carr. And third down and 15 on the same drive. We're going screen to Joe Mixon. He's done enough damage on those plays. We go back to it, and it results in a 42-yard touchdown reception for Joe Mixon out of the backfield. He's so explosive when he gets out into space, and that's why we give him multiple touches through the air, on the ground, and that started the rainstorm for the Texans, and now they have to respond. We're up by 9 again, and Deshaun Watson gonna learn his lesson and slide this time, especially in the rainy conditions, and they're going play action, and Deshaun Watson will be brought down for the sack, and he'll fumble. Darrell Taylor out of Tennessee, our rookie outside linebacker, creating the big play defensively and forcing them to punt, which gives the Bengals another shot to put points on the board. And Tyree Jackson stepping over in the pocket, delivering a bullet to John Ross, and that's the first time you've seen him in this game. Nice to see him get involved. And on first down and 10, will be brought down for a sack. Third down and 21. This one will be thrown away by Tyree Jackson, so we have to punt. Not able to get the back-breaking score we needed to put this game away. So the Texans now have the ball back and can decrease this lead to only 2. And Will Fuller not able to hold on to that one. Darrell Taylor on the coverage with the big hit, jarring the ball loose, making sure he could not come up with that one. But Deshaun Watson throws an impressive pass to link up with Robbie Anderson again, and those two have already built some impressive chemistry. As you can tell, they've already linked up for a touchdown in this game and done some damage to the Bengals defense. And Robbie Anderson, I think he's a great fit for Deshaun Watson, especially with his ability to create space on deep routes. And then you pair that with Deshaun Watson's ability to deliver the deep ball. I think that's a recipe for some explosive plays. But the Bengals have done a good job of containing that by putting pressure on Deshaun Watson as Carl Lawson comes up with his second sack of the day. Third down and 24. Deshaun Watson fires a prayer up into the Bengals secondary and finds DeAndre Hopkins coming back, and Darrell Taylor nearly was there to bring down Watson for a sack. He takes the hit as he delivers the pass, but still gets one off to this guy who creates a huge gain for the Texans, and the Bengals just couldn't cover for that long. Deshaun Watson, give him credit for getting outside of the pocket, but he can't escape Zac Taylor on that play as he comes up with his second sack of the day. So a very impressive pass rush is being displayed for the Bengals defense as we are facing the Texans on 4th down and 6, and we stopped them. Great play by Drake Kirkpatrick, batting that ball down as Deshaun Watson went for Will Fuller on the slant play. We get the ball back, and Joe Mixon actually fumbles it after a gain of about 19 yards. But if you look closely, you can tell that one would probably be coming back, which it did, because the ball came out after he made contact with the ground. So the ground created the fumble, so no worries there. The Bengals can continue their drive, but we can't convert 3rd down to Tyler Boyd. And our lead remains at 6, and the score will take the lead for the Texans. But instead, Sean Williams says, "Hello, do you remember me, bro?" He already picked off Deshaun Watson in this game. He tests him again. Sean Williams able to come up with his second interception. But on the next drive, Tyree Jackson turns it over right back to the Texans, and they have a chance to take the lead again. So Sean Williams, with a great play on defense, has to come right back out onto the field as Tyrann Mathieu picks off Tyree Jackson as he was trying to force it to Joe Mixon coming out of the backfield. And Deshaun Watson, a lot of daylight on the left side, sliding down, and he's up to 77 yards, and he seems motivated to give the Texans their first lead of the day, and they convert another 1st down, which moves the chains. They're now past the 30-yard line. 2nd down and 5. Deshaun Watson going for the end zone for the lead. It is caught, but not enough feet inbounds for Robbie Anderson. And like I said, these two have built chemistry, trying to showcase more of that, but not a great attempt by Robbie Anderson to get his feet down. You can see he got one down, but that will not be enough by NFL rules, and that would have been a crucial catch for them with under 2 minutes to go and them trying to take the lead. 3rd down and 5 though. Kiki Kuti creates space on the coverage of Sean Williams and gets them inside the 8-yard line. A crucial stop is needed for the Bengals right now. 2nd down and goal. Deshaun Watson scrambles. He's brought down by Carl Lawson 3 yards short of the end zone. 3rd down and goal. Deshaun Watson is chased out of the pocket and brought down by Sam Hubbard for the sack. Their game depends on this 4th down conversion. 4th down and goal, rolling out Deshaun Watson, firing one toward the end zone, and it is batted away by Drake Kirkpatrick, and he may have just saved the Bengals from taking an L in this game, because if they would have scored, it's likely that they would have gotten the extra point, but instead it will be Tyree Jackson and Joe Mixon marching out onto the field, and they were able to run the clock out and earn the Bengals a victory in this Week 2 matchup versus the Houston Texans. And this is a huge win for the Bengals. This was a primetime matchup. That lets you know why it's a big game for the Bengals. They don't play well in primetime. They're able to get that monkey off of their back and beat that stigma with this victory. And this is a team in the Texans who were 13-3 last year, had the reigning offensive player of the year, and we made him look like a rookie QB with 3 interceptions and a ton of sacks, 4 sacks on the day. So we were after him all day. He had a passer rating of 54.3, so our defense was definitely the reason we won this game. And then Joe Mixon with 18 rushes and 113 yards. And Patrick Carr actually pitched in as well, getting the second half started in a huge way, which allowed us to score a touchdown on that same drive, the opening drive of the second half. So Patrick Carr's contribution cannot be understated as well. But a fun fact is that Deshaun Watson actually tied Joe Mixon for rushing yards in this game, and he actually led the Texans in rushing yards with 113 as well. But we do a pretty good job on DeAndre Hopkins outside of that one play where he had a huge gain after Deshaun Watson created more time outside of the pocket. But other than that, we do really good on him. We played good coverage, but the player of the game will have to be Sean Williams, who caught 2 interceptions in this one, and also had 9 tackles, led us in tackles as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. The next episode, I'm not sure who we're going to be playing against, but the Bengals are 2-0. We've started off in a big way, and this definitely looks like a playoff team. And if we can A, continue to play well and build chemistry, and B, continue to stay healthy, I think you definitely will see this Bengals team in the playoffs. I think we have the right recipe, and hopefully next episode we can keep it going and move to 3-0 and really send a message to the NFL. But I hope to catch you guys in that episode. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.